Welcome to Things to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. As a recording time of approximately 5 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum coin trade $3,072, down about close to 4% as well. Respect to overall crypto market, we are reviving back a little bit, not a majority level, but with respect to Bitcoin, which is currently in the green territory right now, in comparisons to the altcoin, which are collectively, most of them are still in the reds. Besides Solana, seems like it's up a little bit from the 133 technical resistance level that we identify. It came true and bounced from there specifically to now hovering in between, right? But the next level that we know is 155 per our technical analysis. And collectively, on the media front, there isn't really a lot of news that's really worth mentioning. Besides some NFT news, seems like there are more monkeys pictures being sold for about like $250,000. So beside that news, there's just a lot more like foreshadowing news with respect to what's coming, from inflationary pressure to rising interest rates, which is something that we've incurred last week, which was the main or one of the main drivers on the whole market corrections, if you may, right? Surging to 1.75% on Thursday, 1.81% on Friday. Will subsequently translate into this obviously escalator downward trend ever since the speech or the minutes that came out from the December Fed's meetings, right? So in addition to that, we are, Omicron seems like it's a secondary macro affectation now. Despite that cases are still surging relatively, in a severe level, especially on the domestic region. In addition to that, a direct macro affectation with respect to the Kazakhstan, power shutdown, subsequently hinder the Bitcoin mining effort. As you know, Kazakhstan, just on a geopolitical perspective, second largest in the world for Bitcoin mining activities. And shutting that down will obviously have a direct negative correlations to that, right? And then another factor that I'm seeing kind of peeking out in the ecosystem is with respect to a lot of the Chinese funds. So it seems like the real estate market in China is definitely not doing so well. And despite, some of the recent activity with respect to Evergrande defaults, seems like some other funds are, might be in trouble as well. It's mainly due to the leverage situation. It's a little bit highly or too overly leveraged to the point that they have to write-offs. What write-offs mean, right? Write-off is basically, basically to sell a part of your portfolio on a loss just to keep your cash reserve back into your pool, right? Firstly, for tax purposes, also as a form of accounting treatment at the year end, but also is to use that capital to basically fill the hole in the sunken hole that they've had in real estate, right? They have to be paying the lease, especially for commercial real estate properties that they've invested. If there's a lack of tenants because of Omicron, that's spreading in China or in respective regions of the world, they would have to be paying that, while at the same time, it's like a timing element to it, right? When there's a lack of tenants, but it's not like you can just sell the building, right? Unless you just give up the building, but who's gonna buy it? So it's like they are bleeding faster than they are making, right? Which is is a as you know, the Omicron has been delayed for about 2.5 years now. So as we further stretch this out, it's just gonna be a huge detriment onto the Chinese real estate market, unfortunately. So when that happens, that can also stir some Chinese corporate investors or just investors on a corporate level that holds real estate investment properties in their balance sheets, right? And it's like it's the last resort, right? But I don't foresee that to be happening. But that's something that is in the back of our minds, right? Is that something that's going to be happening? Because if that's the case, corporate investors will just have to sell on a loss, right? And when they sell on a loss, you will see more triggering of the correction coming. But on a technical front, beside that, obviously that's a super black swan, super black sheep type of affectation. we are pretty much at the bottom on the technical perspective right now. So again, it's like 4 or 5 negative headwinds that we're facing in front of us right now with high economical uncertainty, right? But something that we know fundamentally is that whenever there is panic in the market, whenever people are feeling that high uncertainty, that heightened sense of fear, these are the best time to be a little bit more aggressive, take the logical risk, right? Because ultimately, something that is has always served Wall Street in favor is that technicals never lies, right? Most of the traders, most of the quantitative researcher in hedge funds, they are using obviously macro and micro economy and news affectation to stitch their thesis together. But ultimately, what's gonna really give their confirmatory signal in terms of executing their trades is more like a 60% of technicals and 40% of that macro news affectation, right? It's like that fundamental analysis and there's also that technical analysis, right? So hopefully that's helpful in terms of how I'm thinking about it and how I'm playing this. So enough of my rambling. Again, I feel like I do this a lot. Maybe I'm just tired. I've been just trying to catch some sleep, but I didn't really sleep so well last night for some reason. But I had a really good workout today. So anyways, let's just dive right into the technicals with respect to 5:01 p.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum contract $3,082, down about 3.58%. You can see clearly we bounced off from the 3,000 exactly. And we could not crack to the next level, 2,850. You can see clearly on the RSI perspective, already recovering a little bit, reversing a little bit. At one point, we were at the 24 out of 70. Extreme level oversold. This is the worst we've ever seen in history on the RSI's perspective. People are literally freaking out, selling on a loss. To save their own soul, I guess. But unfortunately, most of the time this doesn't end well because they have solidified their loss, right? But the ones that I see on my comment section, I really am happy that you guys are taking a logical risk, right? Being a little bit more aggressive as we are selling. And with respect to the cash reserve, again, right, don't go all in, right? I hear some of my friends here saying that they are running out of cash, but like remember the rule of thumb is basically to use 30% of your cash reserve only, right? And then you start chipping away, right? 10% when it goes to the first level, right? 15% as you go to second level, right? And then as you get to the third level, which is the steal level, right, start to be a little bit more aggressive, 25 to 30%, right? But you still have cash reserve. You can't always just like go belly flop all the way in and do a Hail Mary with your cash reserve because that's your chips in a casino, right? That's how you play the game to dollar cost average, right? So hopefully it's helpful, right? Hopefully you guys still have some cash reserve on the side to, chip away and mitigate your risk from there. In respect to Bitcoin, right now it's down about close to 1%. We're reviving back from the $40,550. And right now we are at the 30 out of 70. It seems like we're reviving right now. Just on the technical front, we are seeing some curvature, a sign of revival right now. So it's a good sign. It seems like it makes sense to bounce right now. So it seems like Ethereum is already gaining some momentum, coming back up a little bit. So Dogecoin right now is at the 1521, anywhere from current level to the bottom. 1450 is good. Right now it's 32 out of 70. So not terrible, not the best, right? But in comparisons to obviously Ethereum and Bitcoin, which are way more oversold. So Dogecoin is still not terrible if this is something that's of your interest. With respect to Cardano, you can see that we clearly hit the 112 earlier today at the 38 out of 70. So that was extremely oversold at that point, and the reason we bounced from that 112 is because the 115 is a resistance level on a flat level perspective. So right now we're reviving, still in a relatively on the upper echelon of oversold. So not terrible level, but definitely not as good as in comparisons to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Solana is at 146, bouncing from the 133, exactly where we talked about, and right now we're just heading back to the 155. And with this see if we can actually recuperate back up that way. It's possible with the 35 out of 70, but as we get to 155, that's going to be the first resistance level that we need to bounce from. And we'll see if we are able to sustain and crack through it. It's possible, but right now, in fact that we're still up about 7%. We might need to consolidate a little bit first and then leap up from there if there's a good reversal from the key coins. XRP is down about 1.15% right now, 75 out of on the price level, and right now is 35 out of 70, so it's not terrible, not the best in comparisons to the other ones, but I do like it right now, right? Anywhere from 75 to 69 is still a tolerable level, right? We are still at the oversold level, but just on the upper echelon one, right? Polkadot is down about 3.61%, anywhere from current level to the bottom, basically 2280 is still good. Right now it's the 37 out of 70, so not terrible in terms of incurring risks. We're pretty much almost oversold. We are at the upper echelon of the oversold, right? 35 below would be still better for us, right? So I would probably, wait until Polkadot cool down a little bit more, despite it has cooled down such a significant amount already. ALGORAND's down about 2.30%. Anywhere from 136 to below is still good with the 41, so still some room to fall down to from here. Shiba Inu is 27.86 right now, so it's still selling off. This is just technical speaking the truth. So we're going to keep coming down, ideally to the 2,000 flat number level, 33 out of 70, so not terrible. But I was just wait until, first level 2,000s. If we break 2,000, like, we have a long way to go, basically halfway, like to 1375, that's the next level. MACTAC is down about 2.3% at the moment, 175 to 143 is good level. Right now, the 39 out of 70, so not the best right now. This is just like technical speaking the truth, right? We've just been sliding off ever since this head and shoulder pattern. AVAX is now about close to 4% right now. We are touching the, we basically bounced from the exact level to identify 81, right? That's the exact level. And right now we try to linger on to see can we get momentum to reverse back up. I think we could, but I think it makes sense to incur risk right now just a little bit, and then as we go down further, we have a long drop, right, to 59. So it makes sense to incur risk in between. Luna is now about 2.53%. Anywhere from 62, 52 to 45 from here would be good. Right now it's 38 out of 70. So not the best. I would still wait until 62 from here. And with respect to elrond, we are at the 192. You can see that we're reversing right now. We are at the 29 out of 70, so still at an okay level. We are really, really oversold. So not terrible in terms of incurring risk at the moment. Again, right, 30% of your cash reserve, never go all in, right? So I think right now it's not terrible in terms of we are at the steal level right now. And with respect to risk management level, these are level to identify for the respective coins. So let me know if you have any questions. And yeah, we are within the attractive and steal levels on a collective perspective. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm really exhausted right now. So I'm probably just going to go back to sleep again. But appreciate you for joining me again, and have a good Saturday, and take care. Bye.